Hello, 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 and welcome to Emmen Plays Path of Exile 2. I'm your host Mooney, and today I will be playing Path of Exile 2, as I said before. Now, just to kind of let you guys know, I'm really new to the game, right? I do have some friends who do play, so they've been giving me some tips here and there. But ultimately, what I'm aiming to do is just play through the story for the first time and kind of reflect on, what's going on and who's who, what's what, and what's really been going on. Now, I am playing a monk class, and I'll get a little bit more into the details of what exactly I'm playing and how the whole thing works after I get to a safer zone. I'm currently in the middle of a dungeon, actually, so what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna go finish off this dungeon, which I can do since I have beaten the boss. And then, well, we are in a more safe zone. We can go over the particulars of build and the story and everything that's been going on. Now, in terms of the game itself so far, this is my first ARPG in a really, really long time. Like, I remember playing Diablo 2 a little bit with some friends when I was a bit younger, but oh, nice. There was a good drop there. It's been a while since Diablo 2, right? And the ARPG genre has surely changed and grown in my absence. Why did it have to be spiders, man? The next thing you know, they'll be sending roaches my way and I'll really be cooked. One of the things that actually made me not want to try this game out when it first came out, and it has been out for a little bit in early access, is the gigantic skill tree that exists in this game. I thought, oh, okay, there's no way I can figure that stuff out. It seems too complicated. It's not a skill tree as much as a skill rainforest. But over time, I've seen many more friends start to pick it up, and they seem to be able to kind of get into the game just fine. And at some point, someone got some keys to the game, and they offered me a chance to play it. And I was like, heck yeah! Like this basically costs me nothing. I'm able to try it out and see how I feel about it. And I gotta say, I'm having a really good time. Even right from the get-go, the class that I picked, the abilities that I'm getting, it's really fun to play, and I'm really getting into it. And there's also the experience of, finding different kinds of loot and making it work. It's been a really enjoyable experience. There's also something rather relaxing about killing hordes and hordes of enemies while just kind of breezing through it. Now, I'm not saying that this game is super easy all the time. It's just that, you know, mobs and stuff you can kind of cleave through. But I mean, depending on the difficulty of the area, of course, but bosses, you do have to give them some thought. And a lot of the bosses that I've faced in the game so far, I've really liked. They had interesting sets, really cool designs, and I had to pay attention to how they moved and what they were doing for me to really properly be able to survive. Okay, here's the exit. That's all I have to say about it in a kind of broad stroke sense. But let me get back to the hub area where I can definitely be safe and kind of discuss the game a little bit more. Where are we? Alright, first things first, Path of Exile. Turns out that it's a dark fantasy game, right? So it means that we're talking about kind of fantasy elements with a little bit of horror or scary tint to them, right? We're talking all kinds of monsters, we're talking bugs, we're talking like vampires, werewolves, we're talking like zombies and necromancers and all that other good stuff, right? And this is very clear in a lot of the visuals that you have in the various environments. This is also really clear to see in the enemy designs and whatnot. On that note, can we please get like a bestiary for the full release of the game? Because I would really love to take a look at all these really cool enemies that I've been mowing down. Because you really don't get to see them very clearly when you're just messing around. But anyway, um, the story of Path of Exile, as far as I know it, comes. comes in three acts, right? I am currently in Act 2. The first act takes place in this particular map, and you go from location to location, beating bosses, doing various quests, and the story somewhat develops. And now I'm in Act 2, which took us to a kind of desert region. And I really enjoy the fact that it is a desert region, and each of these regions have their own hub area, right? And the story seems to be following some sort of corruptive influence from some creature that was basically trapped and hidden for generations, trapped inside something that looks like a Pokeball, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Trapped and hidden away for what appears to be generations until this particularly, uh, let's call him aggressive, this particularly aggressive noble from this region, from the kind of grassy region, decided that it would be a good idea to essentially awaken that thing, to release that thing to the world. Of course, undoubtedly, this was not a good idea. This was a terrible idea. And now we're kind of dealing with the consequences and chasing this villainess who basically seems to be doing her darndest to just try to get that creature released and the whole world completely messed up. Now, this is why they're doing this. We're slowly picking up as we go along. Now, for now, let's talk about the immediate, right? Um, I went to this second area, which is a desert area, and I decided to kind of hook up with these guys who are essentially desert nomads, and they are traveling on this really, really cool caravan thing. And let me just say that I really like this location as a potential like a hub area because it's constantly moving and it's been drawn by these things, which really drew my attention. I don't know exactly what they are because when I look at the loading screens, they look like zombies. But I've also been told that they might be prisoners or something, which is kind of dark fantasy, let's put it that way. But yeah, these things are essentially pulling this entire caravan, which I think is pretty gnarly. Anywho, these people with these little things over their head means they have a quest, so let's see what they have to say. Hello, Shambrin. So usually what these characters do is they'll say a little bit of dialogue, and they'll go to this menu. You can buy or sell items to them if you like. Let's uh, let's sell this. Sell this one. Artifices. So another thing you can do is just click various things here, and they'll just say a little something about it. So let's see what this person has to say about the queen of this tribe, essentially. This character is blind, by the way. And let me also say that I think it's really cool that there's a character who has vitiligo in the game just casually in the back. Like, look at her skin. Interesting. Dang. Right, so one thing that is going on in this particular area is something about how there are like these two different groups of desert tribes, the Faridun and the uh, Maraketh. They seem to be opposed factions, and this character Risu is kind of like a deserter from the Faridun. Oh hi, there's somebody in the chat right now. Hello, I have come to feel the path of eggs. Exile, very funny. Okay, welcome to the stream. We just kinda chilling here and playing through the story to see where it takes us. Okay, thank you for all of your interesting tales. I'll just put some of this stuff here. We'll come back to this later. I wonder if this'll work. Bad? Better than nothing, I guess. Stuff here as well. Since there was a new area unlocked, I'm actually gonna go explore that area. I think it might be fun. Before that, I did say I would talk about my build a bit, right? So, I am playing a monk. Oh, I see the hooded one, literally me before I was 7, huh? Okay, interesting. Yeah, as I was saying, so I am playing a monk, and I'm playing the type of monk that essentially kinda uses elemental damage, I guess, specifically lightning. We'll get to see a little bit of that when we go into this level itself. Wait, that's not the way to go, actually. Should just tell. Look at this beautiful art. I think it's just so cool. Alright, so, yeah. When I attack, there's like these lightning strike things that go, right? And that's my left click, and on the right click I have this ability. And I also have a little bit of ice, just to shake things up a bit. As for the skill rainforest, it's surprisingly not as complicated as I thought it was when I started really delving into it. Each of these segments that you can see, it seems to be related to a specific class, and if you take a look at the edges, you get to see that there are some weapons like the crossbow, the quarterstaff, the dagger. Not entirely sure what this is supposed to be. But yeah, essentially the class that you are lets you go in any direction that you want in this thing, and you can also mix and match as you like. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy huge skill tree. So what I've done is I've just slowly started going towards some things that I felt like could be really helpful for me. For instance, energy shield. This thing here is very useful for me because I am a monk, right? More than HP. And so I've started maximizing the energy shield I have. I've also tried to get like life when I take enemies out, so I very rarely have to use the potion actually, which is kind of nice. Um, in terms of gear, which is also a really big thing here, um, I would say that I'm better kitted out than the average player at this point because, like I said, I do play this game with some friends, and they've been nice enough to lend me some gear to get myself started. Um, a big goal of this game seems to be to finish the story mode once, which is like Act 1, 2, and 3, before you start all over again from Act 1, 2, 3, but with an increased difficulty. Oh, it looks more manageable that way. Yeah, I absolutely think so. If you're talking about the skill tree, like I thought this was like Final Fantasy X, where you had to cover the whole area, but you really don't. You just need to pick out the ones that is useful for the build that you are getting, and that should really be enough. In my case, I'm thinking of eventually making it to this point, so this way, this way, this way, this way, and then here. I'm also gonna be getting some things like this one, Lust for Power. Power chargers is something that monks use. It's pretty cool. Anywho, enough talk about all this technical stuff. Let's actually, do some fighting. Let's see what this level holds. My goodness. I can summon someone? Okay, let's do that. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Oh, I really like that. That's what happens when you have a power charge and you use this ability. Interesting. I could make something out of this. Oh, so they opened the gate below, and now the caravan is rushing through. Interesting. Oh, she's following me to help me out. That's nice. So, there are plenty of ways to play this game, right? I'm gonna take a little intermission here. Um, yeah, input, here we go. So WASD is one way, and you also have options like keyboard and mouse, where when you click places, you go. And you can also play this game on controller, and it's pretty alright. I'm opting for the WASD method because I've been told that it is the default one, and once you get used to it, you can kind of play it easily. So the thing is, WASD, you just kind of go in this kind of way, right? Even if you hit the A and the D, you don't necessarily turn, but you can turn with your mouse, and your mouse is essentially your aiming. So, if there are enemies, let's say over here, right, you would aim in that way, or you can just turn around this way. Nice. Alright, now as for the map, you can have it be on the top right corner over there, or you could have it be kind of covering where you are, so like you can kind of see it overlaid over the screen. It's really down to preference. I don't think there's a better way in either case. I sometimes have it be an overlay so that I know exactly where I am while I explore it. Or other times I have it in the corner where I'm going is not as important as what's on the screen, which I want to see. Nice. My goodness. Also, do note that this is a early access game at the moment, so some things might get changed, updated, upgraded, maybe even fixed in the full launch. As for when the full launch is, I'm not entirely sure myself. Oh, dang, these were creatures? That's wild. I didn't know that. So one fun thing about this build that I have is that these moves that I do, every fourth hit is a lightning strike, right? And a really cool thing here is that so these are skills that I have, and these little thingies are basically like how do you say, augments to the skills, support abilities you can call them, right? So I did this fun thing where even though normally it's every fourth hit that does a lightning strike, I made it so that the final hit is hit twice in succession, which is where a lot of the damage comes from. So check this out. I love that. All right, where are we? Let's explore this little area. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, what's this? Not really for my class, unfortunately. Oh, so these like stone soldiers are coming to life. That's pretty interesting. I think I just accidentally picked something up, but I can always dump it. It's all good. Yeah, we don't need bows and arrows where we're going. I love it when that lightning strikes. It's so cool. Oh, a checkpoint. What's happening here? Limb the Impaler. Oh, this is another really cool ability of the monk. It's called the Tempest Bell. It summons this really cool bell, and like essentially what happens is that whatever attack you hit the bell with, it kind of makes into an AoE attack. Woo! Let's go! I accidentally picked up a spiked club, but it does seem to be like a gold rarity item, so maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. Okay, let's see what we got. This is actually pretty decent. Bound missers. Let's see what they're about. I think for now I'll just try these on, see what that's like. Full disclosure, like I said, this is a dark fantasy game, so there might be some, you know, kind of creepy things here and now. Just so you know, they're also not really skimping out on the blood and guts aspect of this game. Oh, nice! Another gate opens. Uh-oh. Don't worry. Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay, now when you are in any particular map, right, the exact arrangement of it changes every time. And if you exit the map, you can always re-enter it within 8 to 15 minutes and have the same visual look and everything going, the same arrangement. But it's just a little bit of my perfectionist side that whenever I'm on a map, I like to explore every inch of it. Maybe there's an item, maybe it's gold, maybe it's just something fun to fight. But either way, I'm gonna try to clear out every part of it. It's just my way of doing things, I guess. Maybe this will change when I get into the proper end game, but for now, it's kind of how I roll. Tempest Bell, let's go. We love to see it. Alright, it looks like this area is fully clear, so we can proceed. Most of these dungeons, at least from a gameplay POV, I run alone. I mean, of course, friends can come and help you out if you really need it, but since it's the first time playing, I figured I'd take my attempt alone. But like, it's nice to have like a party member follow you around, you know? All right, what's over there? Oh boy. Now, character building or build crafting is a really big part of this game as far as I can tell. There's a lot of options. I mean, you don't get a skill rain for it if they don't want you to character build, right? You can mix and match a lot of abilities from different classes and stuff and see what works for you. And in my case, I'm also doing a little bit of character building with this one. I have a pretty decent idea of what I'm heading towards, and whenever I pick a passive skill or whenever like it's time for equipment, I always think about that. Yeah, I should identify this, see what this is about. Not really something I need, but I'll just hold on to it for now. Yikes! Very nice. Early on in the game, doing this ability with a power charge was essentially the bread and butter of my damage. But now that I've gotten my hands on Tempest Flurry, this is essentially my big damage dealing ability. Anyway, in terms of this location itself, I think I really like it. I like that, it's a desert area. I like that it's not just the typical yellow and brown desert. I mean, they do have a little bit of that as well, but there's a very large portion of this desert that's just red in color with the sands, and I think it's meant to be blood or something. Either way, it's pretty gnarly. I really like it. Okay, so it's time to get some more of those abilities. What's happening here on our regeneration? Evasion and energy shield, not quite what I'm looking. Let's go for this one. I am trying to make my way over to grab this one, Lust for Power, because the monk class needs power charges, and the more charges you have, the better. Each class. Oh, Screwstar, you can't hear the game's audio? That's very odd. I'm not picking it up on my end either. Thank you for letting me know. Let me raise up the volume, perhaps. I'm actually not picking it up at all. Dang. I wonder what could be happening. Let me try to fix this. Ah, there we go. Alright, so this was totally my bad, y'all. Thank you for letting me be aware of it. The reason why it was like that is because the last couple of times I'd been streaming Honkai Star Rail, so as far as the OBS is concerned, it should be keeping its ears open for Honkai Star Rail, and Honkai Star Rail, this is not. Screw Star, I owe you one. That was a real solid tip on your behalf. Anywho, this is what the game sounds like. Lots of squelching sound, you know, as you crush your enemies or whatever. Yes, you are right. Turning it off and then on again does work, but when the thing you need to turn off and on again is my brain, I don't think it quite works that way. I just forgot that one, so that's on me. Okay. What's going on here? And can you believe that these rocks become things to fight? Like, that's pretty cool, right? And the most cheeky part is that not all of the soldiers come to life, so you never quite know. Older ant. Oh, there's more? Okay, sure. We'll give you death as well. Very nice. Now, I do want to make something clear when it comes to the player difficulty. A lot of what I'm facing has to do with the equipment that I'm wearing. So, you know, it's not exactly the way that the vanilla player might experience the game. But, I've also been slowly replacing that stuff with things that are a little bit more accessible. Maybe I should just do that right now. Oh, what the heck happened here? You can, like I said, hop out of any instance at any point that you want. And you can also hop back in as long as you do it within the time. So let me just switch out my equipment for something a little less overpowered, and we'll see how that takes us. I'll take this one, I think. I'll put this guy back inside. This one. Can put here. Yeah. Really need this. So what I've done here is essentially somewhat depowered my character, because previously I was using equipment which can be considered to be rather powerful. But I wanted to show you guys what the game is like when you are a little bit more appropriately geared as well. Okay, where's that portal? Gosh, I hope it doesn't close. Oh, let's see.
Let the tide of war flow.
Oh, do you see these strange tentacle things over here? This is that weird monster that came out of a Pokeball. Corruption, they call it. Oh.
How is this possible?
So this character, I've been hearing stories about this character, right? Basically, this guy is one of their historic kings, and oh boy, yeah. So the bad guy basically swore to these tribes people, "Hey, I'll help you revive this guy, you know, and bring you back to your glory days. In exchange, do what I say." And what seems to have happened is that this guy did come back, yes, but he's now like an evil zombie. Oh my gosh. Why does it have to be bugs? I don't like bugs.
I have seen the face of the enemy, and it is hatred.
Quickly! He conjures the very sands against us!
So this guy can manipulate sand, that's pretty cool. What a large area, what's this about?
This is no natural sandstorm. We must battle sorcery with sorcery. Return to the caravan and entreat Zarka's wisdom.
Return to the caravan. Okay, I can return to the caravan, but I want to see what this map has first. Not much, I guess. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, the boss did run away, but I didn't expect him to be that to be his final encounter, because this guy is supposed to be some important, relevant guy. So
Jaman-Ra can control the sands? Oh, this was not an ability he had in life. It must be born of corruption. There is something in the tales that could help us overcome such a power. It was said that the horn of the Vastiri could control the winds. I believe the horn's location has been lost to time, but perhaps it is
I also really
possible that
like
we can
the
reconstruct.
voice acting of the game, by the way. I
We
think
would
that
have
it's
to
really nice. Each of
retrace the
these characters have a very
steps of
distinctive
our
voice,
greatest
and
heroine,
their
Obala,
delivery,
on her
including
final
accents, is very,
adventure.
very nice.
Speak to Asana. She knows the tale and where it might take us. Let her know how you wish to begin. Or you may seek my wisdom if you have further questions. Ah, you released Balbala, the traitor. Then it is your duty to redeem her soul by allowing her to serve as a mentor djinn during your dance with the scorpion. In modern times, we give aspiring Dekaras a straightforward test. For this task, however, the old ways are required. You will have to face a much deadlier trial. Speak to Asala. The original trial is not far from here, and the caravan is duty-bound to carry you there.
Let's learn about Jaman-Ra, that guy we just fought. Skirsta, have I tried getting my ascension yet? No, I have not. I just got the item to get the ascension just today, and one of my friends did say, you know, like talk to me before you get your ascension, so I am waiting to have that conversation. Most likely a little bit later today if I have the time to play. But for now, I'm just playing through the story a little bit and seeing where that takes me.
Shaman-Ra? That's a tale I rarely tell.
He's definitely coming back. Jaman-Ra as a boss for sure.
Shaman-Ra was their most successful attempt at causing problems. A very long time ago, he spread dangerous ideas among the outcasts and spoke to the Maraketh as if they were equals. His offenses were so great, the Sekhmers joined together to approach and rebuke him. The tale says that he was so in awe of the glory of our leaders, he ended his own life and chose to fall forgotten in the sands. It is a strange conclusion to his tale, I must admit. But this is what is told. If he has been somehow reanimated through corruption, he will have only one goal: harming us. Each young one is much like another. Ferrodin, Maraketh. What does it matter to an old woman? Others may scowl for letting Risu sit and listen to my stories, but none may order me silent. This is not the first time the sands themselves have been used against us. The necromancer of Weeping Black, Saresh, once waged war upon the Maraketh out of the nascent desert regions of that era. He commanded not only armies of the dead, but vast roiling storms as well. Hearing of this threat, Orbala set forth on a quest to master the elements. And in 3 places of power, she proved herself when she drew in a mighty breath and sounded the horn. It was so powerful. Every tent across the entire plains blew open. For this victory, Orbala was made the Sekhmer of Sekhmers. And after ruling with strength and cunning for many years, later became our Queen of the Wind, greatest goddess of the Maraketh. Her divine name was Garukan, which means ultimate sovereign. The tales,
Interesting.
unfortunately, make no further mention of the horn after that.
I'd like to fight that character as a boss. It would be fun.
Ah, the horn. How to condense a 7-day tale.
A story that's 7 days
It
long?
was
That's
created
crazy.
During Obala's 8th adventure, her final quest before becoming the Sekhmer of Sekhmers. She rested her trusty war steed, the great mastodon Ekbab, gave its tusks for the carving and the channeling of lightning. The essence of water was a secret held at the heart of Keth. And primordial fire must be earned from those that originally brought it to Rayclast. We will find them at the Valley of Titans. Yes. Do not wander.
So let me get this straight. To make this horn, you basically need 3 things from 3 elements. And they are in 3 different locations, which probably mean 3 different quests. Okay, I see what you're doing here, game, and that is, I'm gonna assume, Act 2. Collecting the materials to create the
Yes,
horn.
the Horn of the Vestiri. I know the tale. The ancient city of Keth, the Badlands, and the Valley of the Titans. The Balbalak has her life, for she was truthful. If she also wishes to be accepted here, that will be up to her. You have your orders.
Alright, let's see. So, we have 3 locations. One here, and one here. Really no. Oh, we do know the difficulty. They're all basically the same. Hmm. Let's see. I think I'm gonna try this one first because I've seen the red desert. I've seen this kind of sand-colored white desert, but I haven't really seen the black one. Also, hey, y'all, do you notice that, like, when I move this mouse pointer, that there's a little reflection on the health and the mana pool? Isn't that pretty cool? Nice touch. I just picked that up. Nested on Badlands. You wouldn't think that a game with a scale like this necessarily needs really high fidelity graphics, but they've really put in a lot of effort,
Unforgiving land.
which I am very appreciative of. Oh, so it's an elephant graveyard. I like this. Oh, what is this? That really loud sound lets you know when something of value drops. It's because of a certain thing that I have on called an item filter, which which basically highlights items that are of value and makes items that are not so valuable a little bit smaller and harder to spot, so you don't waste a lot of your time on them. Oh my god, don't you just love that? Look at how cool it looks when that thing just breaks through the earth. That's so sick. The empowered version of that ability is just so cool. Oh, these are necromancers. They're bringing them back to life. Well, we gotta deal with you. Oh, it's a unique enemy, I think. Nice. Not interested. Also not interested. That loud sound happening IRL whenever you find something you really like, you know, something really cool off of a bargain bin. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And yes, of course, necromancers on Valentine's Day. It is very much in theme, isn't it? Oh man, I love the fact that, like, after these bone serpents die, they leave a pile of bones. That's pretty cool. Gilded Cobra. Effigy. What's happening here? Oh my goodness. Y'all need to chill. Oh, you're bringing them back to life, not for long, Necromancer. Oh, let's go. Oh my god, I love that ability when it's fully charged up, it's so sick. Crescent Quarterstaff. Oh, the pathway, I'll just kind of run away for now. Don't you worry, enemies, I'll be coming back. I'm just trying to see what's over here. Here's the bell. we got what we call an exalted ore. It's quite cool.
Arms for the monastery.
Let's identify this. Maybe it'll have some kind of cool ability. By the way, you need to use this little item, Scroll of Wisdom, which drops quite often, to identify random items that you find. What is this? Oh, it's Necromancer. Oh wow, that is such a cool design. What is this? Oops, my HP is quite low. Kinda got a little bit bloodthirsty there. Oh man, I love the arrangement of the bones in the ground. I think it makes for a really, really cool pattern. What was that? Ugh, can't use this. Usually we do our streams for about an hour, and I'm hoping that we run into some kind of boss here in the time. I'd like to fight something new on stream. But anyway, while we're just meandering around and playing this game, I want to say that for an early access game, this game is really well polished. So far I have encountered exactly 0 glitches or, you know, major problems that stop my playthrough. Oh, hello. There are a bunch of different classes. I believe currently there are 6 classes that you can actually play as, and all of them offer very different and unique gameplay, which I think is really nice. It really comes down to your personal preference, and any class can use any weapon, so you can sometimes mix and match to make some really cool setups. For me, what I'm playing is rather basic, I think. But ultimately, I'm still having a lot of fun, and I think that that's the most important thing. Gold Slicer, who the heck are you? Bell. Very nice. Gilded West. Let's see what this is about. It's alright, but unfortunately not what I'm looking for. Gonna have to throw you away. Don't really have a lot of room in my inventory. Chance. I don't know what that is. Oh, that sound. Gotta love that sound. I died. But hey, you get like infinite continues, so you can just come back. But the negative part is that all the enemies you kill, well, they're back too. Oh well, I guess that's only fair. Wouldn't want to be able to beat this game through like war of attrition. My goodness. Dead again. But to be fair, I think that I was a little careless then. Oh well. Oh. Let's go for... Nice. You just had to take the necromancers out in one go before they could summon more creatures. Very cool. Something that's been on my mind of late, especially while playing this game, is that this game is very similar to another game of the same genre, which is quite popular, Diablo. Right? And it got me thinking, like, Blizzard is a company that is quite controversial these days. So having a game that's giving like true competition to one of their darlings, Diablo, might actually be a good thing in the long run, because we might get to see Diablo improve from the very grind-heavy, microtransaction-heavy mess that it currently is. We might also get to see Blizzard humbled a little bit. Huh? Is there a necromancer nearby? Oh, there you are. Hello. Let's put you down. With Marvel Rivals going for the hero shooter and this game going for the ARPG, it kind of makes you wonder, like, are we seeing Blizzard slowly get chipped away? It's not that I necessarily want them to fail, but looking at the way that they've been treating their players, I would really like to see them actually
without end.
face some consequences for all the things that they've been putting people through. Now, we are about to end the stream in a little under 5 minutes, so I would like to get back to the caravan and kind of gather stock and decide what to do next. So we got plenty of quests on the side here, and there's also the opportunity to ascend the character. In this game, when you pick a class, you also get two different variations of how you can kind of level them up. In Dungeons and Dragons terms, it could be something called like a subclass. Right here, I think they're called ascendancies. So each class gets two, with a third coming out on full release, and that offers us quite a lot of options when it comes to character building and gameplay. And I think that people who really like build crafting, people who really want to scratch that Diablo itch without necessarily playing Diablo 4, people who are sick of Blizzard and the way that they do things, people who also want to try ARPGs for the first time, I think that y'all might have a really good time playing Path of Exile. So I'm gonna leave it here today, and I want to say a really big thank you to everybody who joined me in the chat and all the people who tuned into the stream today as well. I hope y'all had fun watching me play this game. I certainly had a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you all again another time, perhaps when I'm a little bit further along in the game and know what's what a bit more. In the meantime, have a good one. Thanks for joining us. See ya. This has been Mooney for Emmen Gaming.